He's got a book, he's got some coffee. Honestly, this is such a yellow gen vibe. Oh dear. People need to leave Mac alone. We've got Oriole, we've got Carmine, we've got Marigold. Like, seriously, he just moved out.
Hello from the void, it's Rose and Rosie. Welcome back to my channel and my Not So Berry challenge, where it's time to get macaroni. We are moving on to the yellow generation of our challenge, which means there's going to be a lot of science, space and aloneism compared to normal. But once again, I am up against the clock. I am leaving for the airport in 8 hours. Oh dear. She's cross because I'm leaving and she's seen the suitcase. So we are going to see how much I can get done. It might be a shorter episode. Let's see. Let's do it.
Here's yellow. Growing up, we didn't have a close relationship with our parents, and we spent the majority of our time alone in our room obsessing over space. We really love space and will do whatever it takes to get to 6am. So we have the correct traits, the right aspiration, and we have joined the astronaut career, although we don't have work for 4 days. So master the rocket science and handiness skill, master the astronaut career, complete nerd brain, build a rocket ship, go to 6am and enter the secret lot in the Oasis Springs. In the Oasis Springs? In Oasis Springs. We did this part about not having friends except for Flor until she died. So whilst we have to wait to go to work, I think we will focus on rocket science and handiness and maybe get our rocket started, as well as dealing with some of our hangover stuff, like whatever the hell is going on with that girlfriend who cheated on us with our friend. Anyway, sorry Methra, we can't talk, we're moving out. It is time to leave the parental home and move out alone. We're going to give Mac the 30,000 simoleons or thereabouts that Carmine had when Marigold moved in, leaving them with plenty to be getting on with. And we are going to move him out into a fresh lot, a new neighbourhood. Now, I ums and ahs, I've got a lot of Sims from this save living in Oasis Springs. I've got another save currently in Oasis Springs, but it does just suit Yellow Vest. It's the yellowest neighbourhood, it's got the least light pollution. I did think about Mount Komorebi, but this just seemed much more of a vibe, so Mac is moving from a modernist container home to a less modern trailer home. But yeah. This is just, I think it's Johnny Zest's house, but I am going to give it a real quick and dirty yellow overlay. Now, in my mind, Mac is not someone that particularly cares about like the aesthetics of his home. He's like focused on space, going to space, gotta go to space, and also the fact that he's finally alone and doesn't have to talk to people because he is a loner. So I am just gonna recolour what's already in the trailer. I don't feel like he'd particularly care what his furnishings look like at this point in his life. We did bring Flor with us, so we're just going to set up a little memorial to her and also put up some family pictures. While Mac and Carmine haven't been close, they do get on okay, and I feel like now they're not living together, he probably has some fondness for her, so we're going to have a little sort of very poorly put together family corner there, and then also put out some of the things he's made, his school projects, his robotic stuff, his space rocket, just to give it a slightly personal touch despite it being quite a tragic and basic space. But things will change as he grows up, or they won't. We'll find out. We got to get to know him. Anyway, I feel like he's just having a lovely time reading his book, listening to some music alone, and just not having to deal with his mum's shenanigans or anyone being around, or just generally basically the kind of thing he's always wanted as a loner. Except it's time for Welcome Wagon. Who have we got? Okay, his family and his sister's mum. We've got Genesis, we've got Daisy and Crimson, and we've got some random guy in pink boots. Now, these guys do all live in this bit of Oasis Springs because it's just where housing has been. Oh, and Oriole is calling. Well, we might as well have the whole family over. Mithra's here too. So we'll start a gathering for Spectra family values and see if anyone turns up. Because if we're going to intrude on Mac's solitude, it's like, hey, did you miss us? And he's like, I've literally been gone 3 hours. Could you not just leave me the hell alone? But he's a nice boy on the surface. He's not going to be rude to them yet. I mean, I feel like maybe if they keep turning up, he'll get to the point of being rude. Cochineal, what are you doing? Are you making a cake? I really hope he has some cooking skill, because if he burns our oven down, I'm going to be pissed. Anyway, Mac, to his credit, he's being nice to everyone. Yeah, it is a cake. And he's just like, small talk, okay. Woo, it's nice to see you all. Don't you all have homes to go to? It's been a few hours now. I'm really tired. So, yeah, now that... we don't need another cake. Cochineal, no. Alright, well, we're definitely going to end things early. I did finally take pity on Cochineal and give him some hair. But literally the second everyone's gone, Mac is, like, I think he's going to sleep on the bench outside. He is that tired and that overwhelmed by having people around, but after a little nap he's having a much nicer time. He's got some music on, he's got a book, some coffee. Honestly, this is such a Yellow Gen vibe. He's just vibing with his coffee and his book. This is a me vibe, let's be real. This is what my life looks like. I mean, a bit less stinky, hopefully, but we are racking up some of our nerd brain points by reading books and drinking coffee and just generally being chill. But I think we will not have any more coffee and instead have a shower and go to bed, because even though it's only 6:30, yeah, that feels right. Oh, Angel is calling. Have I ever made you blush before? Well, you did when you flirted with our friend, so we're not talking to you. Oriole just wandering straight on in. I'm guessing maybe the giving him a key in the last address thing has just automatically transferred over to here, because we have not given anyone a key to the trailer. That doesn't feel like Mac's vibe. He's very much like a you need to knock kind of a guy. Anyway, we're having some fun and games with Dad and ignoring the random person standing outside the door, but it is time for everyone to go home. We're going to bed, we're tired, we're going to have a real big night for the first night in our own home, and by real big night I of course mean reading a sci-fi novel in bed, because that's just how Mac does if he can stay awake long enough to read any of it at all. So he's just enjoying his solitude, thinking about space, reading a book in a way that no one has ever read a book, but hey, it's The Sims, we're going to give the kid a break and let him get himself to sad trailer bed that's probably going to be wildly uncomfortable, but is his own, with his shoes on. Cool. My lag is bad. And while he is sleeping, we are gonna fall madly in love with his brother. I mean, we're gonna buy him a rocket ship, and I think we can only buy this steampunk fly-a-majig, so I guess that's what we'll get him. And spending 5,000 of our 7,000 simoleons is a bit of a risk, but I feel like Mac takes risks for space. He's pretty sensible otherwise, but for space, he'll spend his money. Mithra wants to come over for the flower festival, I guess. I mean, I do just kind of want to give the kid some time on his own, but his little sister wants to come over and have breakfast with him, and that's kind of cute, just the two of them having some together time. And I like the idea that now he's out on his own, maybe they have a good relationship next to his stinky coffee pot. So he's made some fruit salad because he's not allowed to use the oven, and they're just bonding and having nice times together, which is nice. I've said nice way too many times. I did notice that she's having a bit of a skin nightmare, so we're going to give her some face masks because we are a considerate brother who also struggle with acne, and she seems pretty happy. So let's get a picture, because we don't actually have a picture of Mithra on our wall, although she might not thank us for capturing that particular skin day, but she's what's going on? Having an awkward moment? Oh, she's taking herself off. That's great. She's like, oh, I've got to go. Well, perfect. Oh, Oriole, seriously? No, we're going to have some alone time. Mithra's gone home. That means we've got a day to build our rocket, except I can't build the rocket? Why can't I build the rocket? Have I not got high enough rocket skill? I thought you could do it from the beginning. Well, we can't get any more from that book, so I guess we'll buy the next rocket science book and go up a level and see if that makes a difference. Oh, seriously, people need to stop walking into our house, and I'm including you in that, flower bunny. Right, if we can't be alone at home, we're going to be alone on the open road, by which I mean we're going to go jogging. We do need fitness for our career, but for some reason we seem to have stopped, possibly to spectate this lady who's recently been on fire, or make a horny phone call. Oh, seriously? We've got Oriole, we've got Carmine in the background, we've got Marigold. Like, people need to leave Mac alone. He moved out. Give the boys some space. I mean, seriously. Anyway, he's making a horny phone call, so I'm going to assume it's to Angel because he doesn't have any other romantic interests. Oh my god. The lady that's on fire is also pregnant, so that's concerning. Anyway, sorry, distracting. So I'm guessing he called Angel. We should get a little notification. Yeah, so I love hearing your voice. It was nice hearing from you. Well, perhaps there is something repairable there. And I feel like for Mac, it was a very teenaged indiscretion. There was no real shenanigans. It was flirting. It was inappropriate flirting in front of him. But having seen his mum just sort of end relationships willy-nilly, I feel like part of Mac is just like, gotta make it work. I've got to put the effort in. If I don't, then who's going to? I don't want to end up like my mum. I really want for things to be stable even if I'm not, and I'm constantly almost falling over. So thinking of that, as the flower bunny has now departed our house and it's safe to go home, we're going to plug away at our skills a little bit more. I'd really like to get the first stage past aspiration done, so we're going to have him read. It's just a reading montage, and hopefully any second now. First milestone completed, woohoo, we read 3 books. Okay, so now next we need to repair or upgrade an object, so we're going to need to get a woodworking table so we can craft something on it, and get to level 6 of the logic skill, which is a little way off yet, but we're still very early on. This is literally episode 1, so we've made progress on our aspiration. We are cleaning up our house a little bit, and then I think when we're done with that, we will invite Angel out and see if we can't find some sort of happier ending than we're on at the moment. With new neighbourhoods come new opportunities, so I am very tempted to go to this bowling place that is in our neighbourhood. We've walked past it from the outside, and Mac has gone in and decided he likes bowling. Okay, sure. And Angel's coming in, she's aged up to an adult now, which should help with the romance thing, and Mac is giving it a... Oh dear. Are you still sure you like bowling, kid? He doesn't. Apparently he has acquired the bowling skill. I'm not sure that was a skill or bowling, but I guess I applaud his confidence. Angel's fared a little bit better, but neither of them are natural bowlers, shall we say. I mean, this is coming from a terrible bowler. I always use the kiddie slide because I suck and I need the bumpers. Angel, where are you going? Did she leave? She just left. She bowled 1 frame and then left, and we literally didn't exchange a single word. Which is going to be a problem for Mac, because he can maybe overlook whatever it was that went down with Cade, but communication and knowing where he stands has got to be super important to him after the chaos he witnessed as a kid. So I guess the only option that's available to us is to chat to our possibly former friend Cade and see if he knows what's going on. These guys were pretty close when they were first teenagers. They share a love of space and nerdy things, but things have definitely got more distant. They've lost a lot of relationship as they've grown up, and Cade is saying he doesn't know Angel, so I'm going to take that to mean that they haven't spoken since then. They haven't hung out as grown-ups, which I guess is comforting, but at the same time it doesn't really answer the questions we have about her. And we maybe want a little bit more from our friends. As a loner who's only going to want to spend a certain amount of time with anybody unless they're pretty special, sharing an appreciation of space is probably not going to be enough. And yeah, so I'm actually going to invite Angel back over just because I really want him to talk to her. If they're not going to be together, then I need to look for some other options. And oh well, she's brought him a rose. That's nice. Although he doesn't think it's nice. I mean, to be fair, that is fair. She did walk out on him. He had to ask twice. She's never really explained what happened with Cade, and now she's telling him she wants kids. Well, Mac actively doesn't want kids at the moment. He's got the little thing that said would be unhappy to have a child right now. So people kept trying to join in the conversation and make it a group thing. So I'm trying to send them out to this bench to have a more private chat, because their relationship, both romantically and friend-wise, is really quite low at the moment. And so we either need to work pretty hard to rebuild this, or we need to call it. She's just gone home again. Even for make it work Mac, that's got to be a pretty clear signal. He might want to put more time in and be more consistent than his mum, but he's not going to let someone mess him around. And I guess given that it's singles night at the bowling alley, we might as well go back in and see if there's anyone that in the future we might be able to make something work with. But at the moment, it's just a lot of proper grown-ups wearing bowling shirts, which is not ideal. Oh, Edie is here. Edie's at singles night at the bowling alley. That is very not the character that I have in my head for her. And Mac is cheesing at her. I feel like he would definitely tease her for being at singles night at the bowling alley without seeing the irony that he too is at singles night at the bowling alley, even if that wasn't his initial intention. And yeah, she was literally like, hi, bye, I'm going now. I am low-key obsessed with how little time Edie has for Mac and his nonsense, because I think in Mac's head he thinks he isn't nonsense because his mum is like complete nonsense. So on a scale, he's like pretty low, but he did bring alcohol to a science museum and just generally kind of wreck science club. And Edie is quite scholarly and academic, and so yeah, she doesn't have a huge amount of time for him, but she's not a rude lady, and he's come after her to ask her about her day and just be nice, so she's been civil to him at least, which is as much as he deserves, frankly. And then I thought it could be quite fun to have Mac ask what Edie thinks of Angel, like, do you see us being a good fit for each other? You know, what would your opinion be? You're a girl, right? If someone was doing this, what would you think they were up to? And she's been like, Angel? Who's she? Oh, yeah, completely forgot about her. I do find it funny how people that know each other pretty well, like, don't know each other in the game. And as Mac's stench dials up from day smell to real fog cloud, Edie is telling him about her decisions, maybe about what she plans to do. Now she's a grown-up, but then she's noped out pretty quickly, so we are gonna send Mac home to think about everything that's gone down with Angel and sleep on it, and maybe come to a decision tomorrow about what the hell we are going to do with someone that is our girlfriend pretty much in name only at this point. He's woken up feeling sad from having a rubbish Easter and desperate for a wee, so we're just gonna take care of his needs this morning. I have had him send Angel a sad text to see if we get like that auto text that's like, oh, come on over and I'll cheer you up, because that would at least demonstrate she still cares about us a little bit, right? And we're also planting a few little bits in the garden because I am a bit worried about money. He's just sniffling. Yeah, she's not even replying to like the automatic, oh, come over, I'll cheer you up. Yeah, I think I have to break them up. Let me know in the comments what you think. Obviously, it's really early days yet, but I want Mac to have a healthy relationship, because that's the one thing I haven't had so far in this particular family, in this challenge. Flor was a bit of a wreck. Carmine was a total wreck, so I kind of want Mac romantically to, you know, be much lower down the wreck scale. And given that he's a loner and, you know, kind of nerdy, self-contained, it makes sense to me that he would be a little bit more cautious with his feelings. So to the dulcet tones of At Last, he's maybe just mulling whether or not what he has at the moment is what he wants, whether it's gonna give him what he wants. Does he even know what he wants? Is it too soon? He's only a baby still, really. He definitely doesn't want kids, but he's just gonna vibe out in his trailer. And I'm gonna pick up with Mac when I get back from my holiday, so if you do have any thoughts, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.